friends. So what we'll do, see, yesterday we have just started with the basic facts about geography, correct? A very good morning to one and all. Yeah, yeah. Yesterday we just started with the geography. So today what we'll do, we'll just have a general recap of what we have seen in the last class, and we'll just say, for example, we'll continue with the futuristic topic, right? And my dear friends, all the slides what I'll be using for the next two classes, right? That is today's class and tomorrow's class, right? Along with some of the supplementary notes I have sent you, right? I'm pretty sure that all these notes, slides, whatever I have used it in the yesterday's class that I have written, right? Assume that it is a whiteboard. Okay. Everything should have reached you by this time. That's what my strongest belief is. Okay. Right, my dear friends. So yesterday, what we have done, we just started with the basic facts, means we understood what exactly is geography. Am I right? We understood what is geography, how exactly geography can be divided into different branches. Am I right? Yes, we got it all. Very good. Right, right, my dear friends. So somewhere we have a broad idea that what are the different areas that we'll be studying in geography. Okay, that's the general idea about geography, and I told you. Once the formal classes starts, right, the detailed classes starts, this is just a foundational class, am I right? So once, right, say for example, the formal classes, right, starts, I'll be starting with the decoding of the syllabus. Otherwise, decoding of the syllabus, very important. It's very, very important. Okay, Nagamani, I have vision problem. I cannot able to write down. Please repeat. Okay. Please repeat. Okay, yeah, that will be taken care of, Nagamani, don't worry. Okay. Even if you would have missed something, don't worry. Maybe at the end of the class, whatever you have missed it, right? You can almost say, for example, we can interact. That should not be a problem. Okay, right. And I wish, Nagamani, you also have a recording with you. A recording with you, so that, say, for example, you can hear the class repeatedly. Okay. Right, my dear friends. After having a general idea, I told you, right, decoding of the syllabus is very important, but we may not do it at this stage, right? Once I just give you the broad idea of geography and the formal class starts, right, there I'll do it, right? Somewhere, because I understand we have to get into the details of analysis, right? Very important. The decoding of the syllabus is very important, because I always believe that only if a student or an aspirant, if he or she knows the syllabus, you can actually prepare for this examination, right? Because see, it is always right. People say, right, it means what is, see, for example, people study many things, right? What to read is very important. Equally, what is important is that you should know what not to read. Most of the times, right, we spend more time in those things which is not needed for this examination. How to overcome this problem, if you ask me, you should understand the syllabus. As I said, eventually we'll do that. Okay. Right, my dear friends. Yesterday's class, we started with shape of the earth, right? We said the shape of the earth is what? Geoid. Geoid means earth's shape itself. But when you go for the description, we said, right, it is more like a sphere with bulge at equator and poles being flat. See, when I say bulge and flat, actually, though it talks about the curvature, it is actually not the curvature. It is all about the extended radius and the truncated radius, my friend. Right, where exactly we have the maximum radius, if you ask me, right, entire earth, it is equator. That's the reason we call them as what? Equatorial bulge, right? Now we also told you, right, it means the bulge is the one which is indirectly causing the poles to become flat, right? The ultimate question, why is that we are having equatorial bulge, if you ask me, then we had one word answer for it. We said it is centrifugal force. Any fast rotating object, we have a force which is acting outside the center, which throws the particle outside the center. That's what you call them as what? Centrifugal force. This is what I have to remember. Then we talked about rotation. Am I right? What is rotation? I said spin of earth on its own axis. You call them as what? Rotation. Right? Rotation is the one which results in what? Day and night difference. Why sun is rising? Why sun is setting? Rotation. Right? But what is very interesting, right? We said one complete rotation is 1 day. But the biggest question is how long is 1 day and what is a day? Right. When I said 1 day, at least we have seen two types of day. So whenever I say one complete rotation, my friend, always it comes with respect to what? If I say one complete rotation with respect to a distant star, then it is sidereal time, right? If it is one complete rotation with the near star, which is near star, sun, you call them as what? Solar day. See, our practice every day, what we use is one complete rotation with respect to sun, not with the distant star or with its own axis. Am I right? So somewhere I told you, right, 360 degree is different, right? And one rotation with sun or one complete rotation with sun is different. Am I right? Somewhere we understood that in the last class. Okay, we had two types of day, sidereal day and synodic day. Again, I'm telling you, throughout our discussion, what we'll be discussing further is synodic day, not the sidereal day. Am I right? Though I am here saying 361 degree of rotation, but later stage I'll be saying 360 degree of rotation. But there is one clarification. That 360 degree of rotation is with respect to sun. That you have to take it in mind. Okay, right, my friend. Right. Then we also talked about revolution, my friend. What is revolution? Movement of, right, Earth around sun. You call them as what? Revolution. And towards the end of yesterday's class, I have also told you that how long is 1 year? Because you know, one complete revolution, you call them as what? 1 year, my friend. Right? 1 year. Am I right? 1 year. But when I talk about, say, for example, 1 year, how long is 1 year? Right? So we said year is not 365 days and 6 hours as we perceive. Right? It is 365 days. Right? 5 hours, 48 minutes and 46 seconds, my friend. Right. So somewhere I understand we are directly or indirectly, deliberately adding an error, all for what? Practicality. It is all for practicality. See, I have not started today's class. I'm just revising. People who have joined the class late, I'm just telling you. Any day, what will be the format? I'll tell you. When the class starts, I'll be revising what I have taken in the last class, maybe 5-10 minutes. Am I right? Then I'll be going with the content. At the end of the class, I'll be consolidating all those informations, what we have studied in that class. Okay, right, my friends. Okay, Mandara has a question. Sir, Earth rotates on its own axis and revolves around the sun, yet it is not tidally logged. How to understand it? Before understanding this concept, I should understand your question, Mandara, right? It is not tidally logged. When you say tidally logged, what exactly you're meaning it? Are you talking about the tide that is created by moon and the sun? Okay, if that is the case, what we'll do, yeah. Can you just elaborate what is this not tidally logged, right? So that I can throw more light on it. Otherwise, once the class is over, right, we can discuss on this individual, right, specifics. Revolution time not, okay, rotation time not equal to revolution time. Okay, only one side of Earth being on side of sun. No, not at all, not at all. If you say moon, that happens. If you say moon happens, right. Okay. Sir, I just joined. Did I miss anything? Shahid, no. Right. The class is yet to start. Right. We were just revising the yesterday's class. Yeah. See here, few questions, right? Rotation time not equal to revolution time. Okay. Fine. Rotation time not equal to revolution time. Yes. Okay. See, when you talk about rotation time equal to revolution time, moon experience that. And because of this phenomena, only one side of the moon always gets exposed to Earth, right? Not the Earth with respect to sun. Okay. Right. Right, my dear friends. Thank you. Right. So today we'll just continue with where we have left, right? Yesterday's class, my friend. We were simply talking about leap year. Am I right? How to identify a leap year or not. Towards the end of the class, I mean, somewhere we said, sir, why moon can't rotate on its own axis? Moon is also rotating on its own axis, my friend. Moon is rotating. No means we cannot deny that moon is not rotating. Moon is also rotating. But only thing is that moon's rotation time and revolution time is same. Same. So that's the reason, say, for example, as I said, right, only one face of the moon is always fixed with the Earth. Am I right? Okay. Right, my friend. So as I said, towards the end of the class, right, we were talking about this leap year, how to identify whether a leap year means whether the given year is a leap year or not. There, somewhere we said, right, it means when I talk about this leap year, it is not one condition, right? At least we have two conditions to check whether the given year is a leap year or not. Condition number one, you simply check it whether it is divisible by 4. Why? What is the logic? Assuming that it is 6 hours, that is 365 days and 6 hours is the time taken for one revolution. But okay, fine. For 6 hours, right, makes it 24 hours, my friend, one day. But now comes the question, why am I having this second condition? Why am I having that? It means the condition to check, say for example, 400 means divisible by 400 if it is a century, because I know it is not 6 hours. Considering it is 6 hours, my friend, considering it is 6 hours, right, there are some deliberate error that is added. Okay, I'll give you that. It means, say for example, here itself, this calculation is not needed. That's the reason I just don't want to do this calculation in a separate page. My dear friends, see, here itself I'll do it, right? See, for example, if I am considering that it is 6 hours, my friend, 6 hours, see, 365 days and 6 hours. This is what I'm considering. But you know what exactly is the exact time of rotation? It is 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes and 46 seconds. This calculation is not needed. I am repeating it, not needed. Right. So my dear friends, what exactly is the deliberate error we are adding every year? Every year we are adding the deliberate error of 11 minutes and 14 seconds. Error. 11 minutes and 14 seconds is a too large an error. Am I right? So sometimes what happens, my friend? If this 11 minutes and 14 seconds gets accumulated, right? They create, right, hours of error. They create days of error. Am I right? So kindly note this. Okay. So somewhere I said every year, right, almost we are adding a deliberate error of 11 minutes and 14 seconds, my friend. Okay. Now, as I'm just proceeding, my friend, see for example, right, I was saying that every year the error is 11 minutes and 14 seconds approximately, my friend. Can I consider, for easy calculation, I'm considering as 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, convert into decimals. Approximately it is 11.25 minutes. Okay, 15 seconds is nothing but what? Quarter of a minute. Am I right? Quarter of a minute. That's what I'm writing it as what? 0.25. Right? 25% of a minute. My dear friends, every year there is an error of 11.25 minutes, errors approximately. So what happens for 400 years, my friend? Once in 400 years, this error gets accumulated. See, 11.25 into 400 years, right? Multiply it, use the calculators, multiply it. Okay, multiply it, right? How much it comes? Somewhere around 4,500 minutes of error it makes. 4,500 is how many hours? 75 hours divided by 60. Okay, 4,500 is nothing but what? 75 hours. My dear friend, 75 hours is approximately how many days, my friend? Approximately how many days? 75 hours. It's roughly around 3 days. So, what is the idea here? If I am just following, right, the normal procedure of having a leap year for every 4th year, for 400 years span, I will have error of 3 days. This 3 days error has to be removed. It means what? 3 leap years, which will ordinarily be there, should not be a leap year. That's the reason. Very carefully, if you see, my friend, right, for 400 years, right, or once in 400 years, my friend, see here, only, say for example, one leap year we are removing at 1700 AD, one leap year we are removing at 1800 AD, and one leap year we are removing at what? 1900 AD. Am I right? So it means what? It means these are the places I am just removing the 3 days of error. Am I right? Right. That's the reason, my friend. To consolidate it, Consolidated, if you ask me, okay, tell me in one sentence, right? How many leap years? Okay, I am asking you, my friend. In 400 years of cycle, right? 400 years of cycle, am I right? How many leap year is permitted? You tell me. Normally, if you're just going for a normal procedure, you'll be having 100 leap years, right? But if you're, say, for example, removing the errors, how many leap years you'll be having once in 400 years? Very good. The number of leap years is only 97 leap years. This fact is important. Okay. It is not 100 years, it is only 97 years, my friend. Right. All this calculation, you kindly remove it. Okay. What I want is a single statement conclusion. Right. For 400 years. For 400 years of span, the number of leap years will be 97, not 100. Okay. Now you know why it is so. Okay. Right, my friends. So there ends the basic facts about, right, this revolution. Okay. So here our revolution is not fully completed, my friend. See, for example, when I talk about revolution, definition also we have taken, right? Revolution. What is a revolution? Movement of sun, sorry, excuse me, Earth around the sun in an elliptical orbit, my friend. In an elliptical orbit. This is what you call them as what? Revolution. Please use Kannada also. Definitely I use it, but it will take some 6 months, my friend, because first I should learn Kannada. Okay, right. Not worry, I'll do it. Okay. So error concept once again, my dear friends, error concept, what I was saying, see, actual time is not 365 days and 6 hours. It is 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, and so on. So it means every year, knowing that there is an error, we are, I mean, somewhere assuming that it is 6 hours, right? It means we are adding an error of 11 minutes and 14 seconds deliberately. Why? Practicality. Correct. So when this error gets accumulated, it creates some days of error, right? That's what we have seen there, right? How many days of error it is creating, we have seen in the calculation. Am I right? We have seen in the calculation, correct? It almost makes 3 days of error in 400 years. That is what we are removing it. So that's the reason we said this 3 days has to be removed. So that's the reason for 400 years span, you will not have 100 leap year, you will have only 97 leap year. This is one side. Okay. Now coming to revolution again, my friend. Right. Movement of Earth around the sun in an elliptical orbit, you call them as what? Revolution. Right. Elliptical orbit. And what is very important, the sun is not at the center of this ellipse, my friend. Sun is placed at some corner of this ellipse. Right? Sun is not at the center. As the case, what happens? Every day the distance between sun and earth differs. Am I right? Every day. On a day-to-day basis, every day the distance between sun and earth is not same. Right? Because it goes in an elliptical orbit. At one point of time, my friend, right, the distance between the sun and earth experienced is what? Maximum. Right? Maximum. The farthest distance of earth with respect to sun. Am I right? So this position, right, we call them as what? Aphelion position, my friend. This position is very popularly called as aphelion position. Right? Aphellion. Right? Right. For my friend who's right slightly having this problem of seeing it, I'm just telling you the spelling also. Aphellion. Aphelion. You call them as what? Aphelion. On this day, if you ask me what is the, say for example, distance between sun and earth, right? It is somewhere around 152 million kilometers. Million kilometers. That's the distance between sun and earth on this aphelion day. Right. On the other hand, my friend, on the other hand, on one particular day, the distance between sun and earth is very close. Earth is very, very close to sun. That position, we call them as what? Perihelion. That is called as perihelion. It's called as perihelion, my friend. And if you ask me, okay, when X means almost, say for example, on perihelion day, what exactly is the distance between Sun and Earth? It is approximately 147 million kilometers. So my understanding says every day the distance between Sun and Earth will change, right? So my dear friends, we should have some, right? Say for example, commonality, right? Or I should say, right? Let's have a average. If you ask me, what is the average distance between them? Right? What is the average distance between them? Right. Then, my dear friends, the average distance between Sun and Earth is 149.6 million kilometers. But I told you, right? Approximation is the beauty of this preparation. Right? Point, decimal, seconds, everything you don't remember. Kindly forget it. Okay. So how can you remember? Simple, make it as 150, right? Fancy number. Am I right? Dead soon. Okay. So 150 million kilometer, my friend. Right? Right. This is the average distance, right? Average distance. Tejashwini says they are commonly called as apogee and perigee. No. Apogee and perigee is with respect to satellite, both with natural and man-made. When it comes to sun, helion. Am I right? Aphelion and perihelion. Apogee and perigee is with satellite, that is with moon and the man-made sun, not with sun. Sorry, with moon and man-made satellite, I'm saying. Okay. So, my dear friends, the average distance between sun and earth is how much? 150 million kilometer approximately. And interestingly, my friend, this 150 million kilometer, right? The average distance between sun and earth is very popularly called as what? One astronomical unit. It's very popularly called as one astronomical unit. Okay. Now you may wonder, right, what is this? Okay. What is one astronomical unit? I understand. The average distance between sun and earth, you call them as what? One astronomical unit. Okay. Right. But what is the use of this one astronomical unit, my dear friends? This is the unit of distance. For example, generally, if you ask me, what are the various units of distance? Units of distance. I hope you understand what is this unit of distance, right? See, for example, what is our unit of distance? Meters. Correct? Say slightly, if the distance is longer, you use it in what? Kilometers. Say, for example, when I talk about Americans, they use it in what? Miles. Okay. So many miles and so on. Okay. That is what you call them as what? Unit of distance. But my dear friends, unit of distance in space, am I right? We have two units of distance. Number one, you call them as what? Light year. Right? You call them as what? Light year. And two, you call them as what? Astronomical unit. I am simply writing it as what? AU. Astronomical unit. Right? What is light year? The distance what light or photon, right? Light can travel in 1 year. That is what you call them as what? Light year. What is astronomical unit? The distance between sun and earth, average distance, you call them as what? Astronomical unit. These are popular two units of distance that is used in space. On what occasion you will be using astronomical unit, I'll tell you. If the distance is less, say for example, if I'm just calculating the distance solar system, you use this phrase called as astronomical unit. Generally, outside our solar system, we'll be using this word called as light year. Am I right? Light year, my friend. Larger distance, light year. Smaller distance, astronomical unit. That's it. Okay? Right. And that was the question of Murthy, Narasimha Murthy. Right. Right, my friends. Everything we have an idea, right? What is aphelion? What is perihelion? Right? What is the average distance? How exactly it is called as? Everything we have an idea. Now, my dear friends, somewhere, right, we studied this fact that revolution is the one which causes season cycle. Am I right? Right. We said rotation causes day-night difference. Revolution causes season cycle. That's what we said. Now, my dear friends, you have to tell me, right, if revolution is causing season cycle, right, you tell me, my friend, when exactly you will be having summers and when exactly you will be having winters. When exactly you will be having summers and when exactly you will be having winters. directly I'm asking you, can I say perihelion is summer and aphelion is winter, my friend? Can I say so? Can I say so? Perihelion is summer and aphelion is winter. Can I say so? Let's see, for example, on the face of it, it appears as though, right, perihelion is summer and aphelion is winter. Appears, right? I'm just simply saying it appears. Okay, right? Because it is very obvious to think in this pattern, am I right? This pattern or this line. Why I am thinking in this pattern? Because perihelion means what? Earth is very close. So what is the general perception? General perception, anybody will think that, okay, Earth should be very hot on this day, right? Okay, it should be summers. That's what we think. Am I right? Similarly, when I talk about aphelion, Earth is placed very far away from the sun, right? And then you should be thinking that, okay, right, it means temperature should be very less. It should be winters, right? That's what our general idea is. Am I right? My dear friends, what is very interesting in the sense, when I just go by date, okay, which day this phenomena we experience, right? If you ask me on which day perihelion, right, happens or occurs, perihelion happens on January 3rd, my friend. January 3rd, right? Just now we thought it is, and I agree. I have given you the supplementary material also, I have explained it, right? Most of you disagreed with this statement, am I right? Right, I appreciate that you disagreed it. My dear friends, perihelion appears as though it should be summer, but you experience perihelion on January 3rd. January 3rd is one of the peak day of winter. Sun is so close to Earth, but what the season we are having? Winter, ironically. Am I right? Similarly, my friend, when I talk about aphelion happens on July 3rd or July 4th. In your notes, I have just given us July 3rd, but you can also take it as July 4th, right? It is not mandatory that only on this day it will be happening. 1 or 2 days, it can, right? Say for example, it can happen, right, before or after, right? It depends on whether the year is a leap year or not. Okay, July 4th, my friend. Sun is so far, very far away from the Earth, but the season what we are having is what? Summer. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is very simple. Distance between Earth and Sun do not determine season. It can affect the temperature, right? I agree, but no way it affects the season. No way it influences the season. Am I right? Then comes the question, then why do we have seasons? My dear friends, before coming to seasons, right, I'll just ask you a simple question, my friend. Whenever I just talk about summer, you tell me which is the defining character of a summer. I'll just give you a choice, my friend. Is this summer known for warmer days or longer days, my friend? Simply tell me, is this summer known for warmer days or longer days? I agree, both. Both are the character of summer. I agree, I'm not denying the fact. But if you are given a choice to select only one, which one you will choose? Very good, right? The most preferred one is what? Longer day, my friend. Longer days. Summer is warmer, I'm not denying the fact, but summer is known for longer days, right? Even Arctic regions, they are not, never in their life they are warmer. Am I right? They are warm. Am I right? But when I talk about the length of the day, it's longer. My dear friends, whenever I just talk about summer, what is the defining character of summer, my friend, if you ask me? Summer is known for, right, early sunrise, my friend. Right. And talk about the defining character of summer. Summer is known for early sunrise. Early sunrise. And late sunset, my friend. It is known for early sunrise. If sun is coming earlier than 6 o'clock, assume it is summer. If sun is setting after 6 o'clock, again assume it is summer. That's it, right? Summer is known for longer days, right? So with this small idea, when I said summer is known for longer days, now comes the question, what is the reason for season? What is the reason for season, my friend? Of course, nobody can deny, yes, it is the revolution. Nobody can deny it, right? But now comes the question, is it only revolution? No. It is revolution of the earth along with the tilted axis, the so-called tilt of the earth, my friend, right? Tilted axis. If earth would have not been tilted, right, this season cycle we would have not experienced it, right? Just because of the tilt, we are experiencing the season cycle. And my dear friends, I am just integrating this word called as with and. And means what? Both. Both are the reason. If examiner is giving you what is the reason for season cycle, if revolution is their ticket, right? If tilt of the axis is their ticket, if both is there, both will be the fantastic answer. Am I right? Right. It is revolution along with the tilted axis. So what happens? So what happens, my dear friends, here, right? I understand. What exactly is the angle of tilt, if you ask me? Angle of tilt is what? 23.5 degree, right? Assume that earth is not tilted, right? Earth is, say, for example, the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the orbital plane. Assume something like this, right? Whenever I say tilted, by what angle it comes? Earth is tilted by what? Tilted by 23.5 degree. Is this tilt is permanent? No, not at all. Correct? Not at all. Today we are having 23.5 degree. Tomorrow it can change. See, for example, whenever I have, say, for example, a strong celestial body, right, coming and impacting Earth, I can have a different tilt. Am I right? Big splat theory, right? Where how exactly the moon has formed. That says that okay, tilt was almost changed during that event. Okay, forget about it. Nothing is permanent in geography. Today, Earth is rotating in 24 hours. Tomorrow it can slow down, right? Tomorrow very well it can slow down. Okay, of course it has slowed down, right? Slowing down is the only process we have. When Earth was formed, my friend, Earth was rotating in just 6 hours. Now it has come to what? 24 hours. Am I right? And you would have seen, right? It means the dam that is constructed, Three Gorge Dam that is constructed in China, has actually slowed down the rotational velocity of the Earth. Am I right? So just want to tell you that yes, right? Rotation of the Earth will slow down. Okay, whatever be the case, just want to tell you nothing is permanent in this, right? Right. The entire setup, right, my dear friends? So what happens here? Now, somewhere I understand, right? The Earth is tilted. At one point of time, my dear friends, you'll be finding the northern hemisphere is tilted maximum towards sun, where southern hemisphere faces away from the sun. My dear friends, whenever northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, it means it is summers in northern hemisphere. It will be summers in northern hemisphere. It is more exposed to sun, right? If any hemisphere is facing away from the sun, then obviously speaking, it will be winter. And one thing, I asked you, right, a question, whether perihelion is summer and aphelion is winter. This question itself is a fallacy, because entire Earth will not experience summer or winter together, right? Summer and winter is hemisphere specific. Australia and India will not experience same season anytime. Why? You cannot have the same season in Australia and India together. Both are tropical countries, right? Both are tropical countries, my friend, right? The countries which is located between Tropic of Cancer to Capricorn, you call them as what? Tropical countries. Both are warm countries, right? Warmer region. But I'm just telling you, right? They cannot have same season together. Any idea why? Very good. Because they are in different hemisphere. India is completely there in northern hemisphere. Australia is completely there in what? Southern hemisphere, right? So whatever is the season you have in northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere will experience opposite season, right? For example, December and January, if northern hemisphere experience summer, what will be the season in Australia? What will be the season in New Zealand, South America, sorry, South Africa in general, and some of the countries of South America like Argentina, Chile, Bolivia, right? Parts of Brazil, am I right? Uruguay. What is that, say, for example, season they'll be having? They'll be having what? Summers. Okay, that's the idea, my friend. So, somewhere I understand, right? So, somewhere at one point of time, northern hemisphere is tilting towards the sun. right? Slowly, steadily, when it is moving in its revolutionary orbit, at one point of time, both the hemisphere will be equally facing away from the sun, right? And again, at one point of time, right, the southern hemisphere will be facing the sun. When southern hemisphere is facing the sun, right, it will be summers in southern hemisphere and winters in northern hemisphere. Okay, right, my dear friends. Now here, season is not one single day, my friend. Season is a period. Am I right? And about summer, summer is somewhere around 3 to 4 months. Winter is somewhere around 3 to 4 months. In between comes a transitional period called as what? Spring and autumn. But here, in this diagram, right, we have selected only 4 very important days of a season. Say, for example, days like June 21st, my friend. June 21st. And my dear friends, today is July 2nd, and tomorrow is affiliate day. Tomorrow is affiliate. Okay. But whatever be the case, right? Coming to June 21st, my friend. I have taken June 21st, right? I have taken March 21st. I have taken December 22nd, and I have taken September 23rd. These are very important days of a year, my friend. Very important days. Why is that is so important if you ask me, my dear friend? June 21st is the period, right, when northern hemisphere has the maximum tilt towards sun. You cannot have a tilt of northern hemisphere more than this position. Okay. On this position, my friend, on this particular day, right, this northern hemisphere is so tilted that the sun's vertical rays reaches the maximum possible latitude in northern hemisphere. What is this maximum possible latitude if you ask me? It is Tropic of Cancer. Okay. Tropic of Cancer is the maximum limit where sun's vertical rays, you know what is vertical rays, right? See, first I'll picturize this vertical rays, okay, so that you should have a general understanding here. Right. What is this vertical ray? Say, for example, assume that this is the surface of the earth, my friend. This is the surface of the earth. Assume that this is surface of the earth. Okay. Right. I have sun. My dear friends, when sun's rays falls exactly at the angle of 90 degree, my friend. Right? This angle, this is what I call them as what? Vertical sun's rays. Correct? Right. It means you call them as what? Vertical sun's rays. This vertical sun's rays can also be called as what? My dear friends, this is what you call them as what? Head sun position. Okay. You call them as what? Head sun position. Okay. This is the day and this is the time where you will be experiencing a phenomena called as zero shadow hour, right? What is the zero shadow hour? I'll tell you, my friends. See, simple. Head sun position. Head sun position means what? Sun placed above your head. You call them as what? Head sun position, right? It will not happen at all part of a day. This will happen only at noon, my dear friend. Noon. Sun at zenith position, correct? The zenith position will be above your head. That is what I am calling it as what? Vertical sun's rays, my friend. See, my dear friends, this vertical sun's rays is the one, right? This is the period. See, you would have heard a phenomena called as zero shadow hours, right? I'll show you that how exactly the zero shadow hours look like. Now, what is the zero shadow hours? Sun will be there in the sky, my friend. Sun will be there in the sky, right? See, imagine, right? I'm just taking some of the images here. Sun will be there in the sky, but its shadow will not fall on the ground. See, finest example. It means what? Exactly, the shadow is almost falling on the same object. Every side, it means sun's light will be falling. Am I right? This is what you call them as what? Zero shadow R, my friend. Am I right? Zero shadow R, right? The zero shadow R exactly overlaps with what? Exactly overlaps with vertical sun's rays, right? Head sun position. Am I right? So, and one more thing, all parts of the earth will not experience this zero shadow as a phenomenon. If you ask me, northern hemisphere, what is the limit of this zero shadow phenomena? What is the limit? You know it. What is the limit of zero shadow phenomena? Beyond which you cannot experience zero shadow phenomena. What is that limit, my friends? I have just given you a clue. Right. It is Tropic of Cancer. Beyond the Tropic of Cancer, you cannot experience this zero shadow phenomenon. Am I right? It means what? Places like Delhi, places like Patna, Lucknow, Prayagraj, Chandigarh, am I right? Jaipur, all these places you will not experience it. But if you're there in peninsular India, Chennai, Bangalore, Trivandrum, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, all these places will experience. Why? Right. Because it is right. Lying south of Tropic of Cancer. Right, my dear friends. So somewhere, right, we have an idea. What is the sun's vertical rays? I have an idea. And let me tell you, my friend, right, the northernmost limit what the sun's vertical rays can travel is what? Tropic of Cancer. Right? It can travel in what? Till Tropic of Cancer. Okay. Right, my dear friends. And similarly, if you ask me, okay, northern hemisphere, it is Tropic of Cancer, accepted. What about southern hemisphere? Take the mirror image, my friend. If you're talking about southern hemisphere, this phenomena happens on December 22nd, right? December 22nd, my friend, right? In December 22nd, the maximum limit what sun's vertical rays travels in southern hemisphere is what? Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south, right? Very interesting, right? So these are the only places, right? To be very precise, my friend, Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. What you call them as what? Tropical regions. These are the only places where you can experience sun's vertical rays. All other places which is located beyond it, always throughout the year, what you will have is only slanting sun's rays. Never you will have vertical sun's rays. Never you will experience head sun position. Never you will experience zero shadow as a phenomena. Okay, right. Right, my dear friends. Okay. Now, see here, in this diagram or any diagram you take it, okay, we come across some of the very important latitudes, my friend. See, for example, in this diagram, what I have just selected, I have equator, okay. 23.5 degree north of equator, I have Tropic of Cancer. At 66.5 degree, I have something called as Arctic Circle. Okay. Similarly, south, 23.5 degrees south of equator, I have Tropic of Capricorn. 66.5 degrees south of equator, I have Antarctic Circle. These are very important latitudes, my friend. Because whatever lies beyond Arctic Circle, you call them as what? Arctic region. Whatever lies beyond Antarctic Circle, you call them as what? Antarctic region. Correct. Now, my dear friends, if I'm just asking you what is the tilt of Earth, Earth is tilted by how many degree? 23.5 degree it is tilted. Tilted by 23.5 degree. Okay. If it is tilted by 23.5 degree, my friend, see the correlation. If you ask me, okay, what is Tropic of Cancer? Tropic of Cancer is 23.5 degree from equator. Right? Tropic of Capricorn is 23.5 degree from equator but towards south. Okay. What is Arctic Circle? Arctic Circle is 90 minus 23.5 degree. It means it is 23.5 degree from poles, North Pole. Antarctic Circle is 23.5 degree from South Pole. So, my dear friends, there is a direct correlation between the tilt of the earth and these latitudes. Okay. Why it is 23.5 degree? Why it is 63.5 degree? If you ask me, it is because tilt of the earth is 23.5 degree. Okay. Now I have a simple question. Tomorrow, okay, right? You assume that the tilt of the earth is changing, my friend. Tomorrow, right? Earth is going to tilt by 30 degree. Okay, assume that tomorrow's the tilt of the earth is going to be 30 degree. Tilted by, I should say, tilted by 30 degree. If earth would have been tilted by 30 degree, what will be your new tropic of Cancer, my friend? Assume that earth is tilted by 30 degree. Very good. Your new tropic of Cancer will be 30 degree north. Capricorn will be 30 degrees south. What about Arctic Circle? What will be your new Arctic Circle? Very good. It will be 60 degree north, and Antarctic Circle will be 60 degrees south. So what you have is a direct correlation. Okay, right. Very good, my friend. So this is what you call them as what? Basic understanding. Right. See, this image what I am discussing now, it's one of the very important image. Any examination you take it, the probability of question being asked is very, very high. Okay. Now, again, consolidating it. I think you have the supplementary notes with you, right? Not even, it is not needed to take the notes also, but I'll give you some of the very important facts. I'll just give you, right? Now, my dear friends, I said I have just given you, means taken few days, right? Number one, I have taken June 21st versus December 22nd. June 21st is that day where sun's vertical rays reaches the maximum possible limit in northern hemisphere. This position we call them as what? Solstice position. We call them as what? Solstice position. Similarly, when the sun's vertical rays reaches the southernmost point, again we call them as what? Solstice position. It means June 21st and December 22nd, we call them as what? Solstice. Okay, we call them as what? Solstice. Now here, we have two solstices, my friend. We have two solstices, correct? So we have to name it, we have to differentiate it. Now comes the question, how am I going to differentiate it? How am I going to differentiate it? See, for example, now asking you the question, June month, my friend, what exactly is the season that northern hemisphere will experience? It will experience summer. So accordingly, this June 21st, we call them as what? Summer solstice. Now you may ask me a question, right? That is okay. June, northern hemisphere is experiencing summer. But how about southern hemisphere? Southern hemisphere will be experiencing winter. Then why are you calling it as summer solstice? That is the question, right? But let me tell you, my friend, any reference is with respect to northern hemisphere unless and until it is specifically mentioned. How should I interpret this way? Right, I'll tell you this way. Okay, I said, right, if I'm not differentiating between northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, any names in common, the reference hemisphere is always northern hemisphere. Why? Because 66% of land and 80% of inhabitable land along with the 90% of population is confined to what? Northern hemisphere. You take it land, you take it as habitable part of land, or you take the population, 90%, my friend. Why 90%? Because China and India is part of northern hemisphere. Am I right? So that's the reason any reference is with respect to northern hemisphere, right? This solstice is with respect to India. No. It is with respect to northern hemisphere. Now we are talking about world geography. We are not talking about Indian geography. Okay, more landmass, more people, and that's the thing, right? So what is the name we are giving it? We are giving it as what? Summer solstice, because we are experiencing summer. We means what? People of northern hemisphere. India is part of northern hemisphere. Similarly, December 22nd, we call them as what? Right. We call them as what? Winter solstice. We call them as what? Winter solstice. Okay. So we have given the name for it. Right, my dear friends. Now, we have just given the name for it. Summer solstice and winter solstice, my friend. Now say for example, right, already you know, where exactly the sun's vertical rays is falling, right? Only June 21st, I'll take it, my friend. Very carefully you're going to follow. Very carefully you're going to follow, right? Right, you are there in June 21st. All right. And my dear friends, can you see a very small thin line here? A very small thin line which is actually separating the brighter side and the darker side. The brighter side, you call them as what? Day. And darker side, you call them as what? Night, my friend. Okay. Right? And this very thin line, which is dividing this day and night, very popularly you call them as what? Circle of illumination. Now you may ask me, right? You are showing a line and saying that it is a circle. Simple. You are seeing the side angle, my friend, right? Slightly you turn it, that will be a circle. Am I right? Only thing is that this circle I have just tilted by, means turned by 90 degrees. So it is looking like a line. Am I right? It is just looking like a line. So what you are seeing here is a circle of illumination, right? Circle of illumination is the one which divides day and night, my friend. Okay. Further, if you want, I'll just show you. Okay. So everywhere what you are seeing is only a line. Okay, no problem. Yeah. So just want to tell you that this is actually a right circle. Only thing is that if you're just seeing from the angle, right, it will be a circle, my friend. Okay. Maybe slightly this image can throw a better light, right? Right. So what is this circle of illumination? Am I right? This small line, right, is what you call them as what? Circle of illumination. That's a continuous line, right? Entire earth you can draw this line. That will be a circle. Am I right? So it divides what? The day part and night part, my friend. Am I right? Night part. And see, for example, I was just talking about this vertical sun's rays, right? Vertical sun's rays. Okay, somewhere you can just take the clues from this image, right? Now, my dear friends, here, you know that when I talk about this, this is what I call them as what? Circle of illumination, right? Now here, if you ask me where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls, I'm in, right? Say for example, I'm in summer solstice, my friend. I'm in June 21st. See, this day is very important, very, very important. Why? Because geographically it is summer solstice. Culturally speaking, it is International Day of Yoga. Emotionally speaking, it is International Father's Day, my friend. Okay, hardly we, right, almost take pride in having a father, but okay, right, father is a very important component, my friend. Okay, whatever it is the case. See, this year we had on June 20th, Father's Day. Okay, whatever be the case, right, very important, right? Now here, my friend, see, very carefully if you look at it, this is what I call them as what? Observation, right? Diagram speaks more than 1,000 words, right? See, you can see the length of a day and night, my friend. You can see the length of day and night. Am I right? So as you move away from equator, okay, right at equator, see, for example, any place, length of day and night, you add it, it is going to be 24 hours. Am I right? Right at equator, if you ask me length of day is 12 hours on this day. If length of day is 12 hours, length of night is also going to be what? 12 hours. Am I right? But as you move north, my friend, what happens? The length of the day increases. What is the length of the day? Right at Tropic of Cancer, the length of the day is what? 13.5 hours. 13.5 hours, my friend. Now you tell me, if length of day is 13.5 hours, what will be the length of night? What will be the length of night? Length of night is just 10.5 hours, right? And as you move north, 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 and north, you're there in Arctic Circle and beyond Arctic Circle. The length of the day is what? 24 hours. So what is the length of night? Night is 0 hours, my friend. It means what? In this day, right, June 21st, entire Arctic region will be experiencing 24 hours of daylight. It means sun will not set at Arctic region. Sun will not go below the horizon, right? I hope you understand what is this horizon, right? The line along which the sunrise or sunset will take place, my friend, right? I'll show you this horizon. See, outer curvature of this earth, my friend, right? If you're there in the coastal area, right, beaches, horizon is very clear. The line which appears as though this earth and sky is meeting each other, right? That's what you call them as what? Horizon. See, for example, you just climb to the tallest, right, the terrace of your building, right? See, for example, if at all, if much buildings are not there, you can find the outer curvature of the city. That's what you call them as what? Horizon, my friend, right? Horizon is the line along which the sunrise or sunset will take place. Okay. So just want to tell you, my friend, in this day, right, entire Arctic region, right, entire Arctic region, sun will be there in the sky, right? Even during midnight, sun will be there in the sky. This phenomena is very popularly called as what? Midnight sun, my friend. You call them as what? Midnight sun. You would have heard about this terminology, right? Midnight sun. Accordingly, one country is called as land of midnight sun. Any idea? Which country is called as land of midnight sun? Very good. It is Norway, my friend. Norway is called as land of midnight sun. Why? Because Norway is there in Arctic region. Now comes another question. Is it only Norway? No. Slightly I'll deviate, my friend. Slightly I'll deviate. If you ask me, is it only Norway? Answer is no. We talk about this land of midnight sun as a concept, right? It is not only Norway, my friend, right? There are 8 countries, including Norway, which is located in this Arctic region, my friend, right? 8 countries are there. 8 other countries, sorry, 8 countries, right? Like, I'll just tell you that approximately what are the countries. See, for example, I'll just bring that, right? Right. 8 countries are there in this region, my friend. And talk about Arctic Circle, right? 8 countries are there. What are the countries? I'll just add it. See, for example, very important, right? Knowing these countries are very important. Number 1, it is USA, my friend. USA. You may wonder why USA. USA is somewhere here. You are saying that USA is there, my dear friend. I am just including USA not because of the mainland. It is because of what? Alaska. Because of Alaska, I am including USA. Then without any doubt, I have the larger part of Canada, my friend. I have Canada. Then I have Denmark. Again, you may wonder, right? Denmark. Where is Denmark? Denmark is somewhere there in, right, Europe, but you are adding Denmark here, my dear friends, because I am adding Denmark here because of what? Greenland. Correct? Greenland politically belongs to what? Denmark, my friend. See? Right. What I have just added, right? I have added significant part of, right, Alaska. I've added significant part of Canada. I've added significant part of Denmark, my friend. Then I have all these Scandinavian countries, right? Part of Iceland also you have. Am I right? For that case, you can also add Iceland, my friend. Then comes what? Norway. Norway. The land which is called as what? The country which is called as what? Land of midnight sun. Norway, right? Adjoining Norway, what you have is what? Right, Sweden and Finland. What you have is Sweden, right? Adjoining Sweden, what you have is what? Finland. And if you ask me which country has the largest share in Arctic region, it is Russia. So these are the 8 countries, my friend, which is having its presence in what? Arctic region. USA. Why USA? I have told you, right? Because of Alaska. Okay, because of Alaska. This is Alaska. Correct? Then I have Canada, right? Denmark for the sake of Greenland. Iceland, only the part of Iceland, right? Northern parts of Iceland, right? Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. These are the 8 countries, right? Collectively, they have their presence in what? Arctic region. And my dear friends, these are the member countries of the Arctic Council also. So knowing this country is very, very important. Okay, very, very important, right? Now, and this, what I'm just giving you, today itself, you try to have a map and closely follow this map. And while doing so, right, you will have this, say, for example, you'll be having this question, how come Iceland, this Arctic Circle is not touching? Actually, it touches, right? Significant island parts are there in Iceland, which falls, right, north of Arctic Circle. Okay, right. So what are the countries where you have the presence of Arctic Circle, Arctic region? I have an idea, but still I'm telling you, Norway is called as land of midnight sun. Okay, right. Now, my dear friends, somewhere I told you, right? As you move north, the length of the day slowly and steadily increases. And my dear friends, let me tell you, June 21st is the peak summer day of northern hemisphere. What is summer? Summer means longer day. If I say peak summer, what is the meaning? June 21st is the longest day of northern hemisphere, my friend. Longest day of northern hemisphere. You cannot have a day which is longer than this. You cannot have sun which is rising earlier than June 21st. Right? Now, sir, which place after Finland? Russia, sir. Russia. Vaishnavi, it is Russia. Right. When I talk about longest day you experience in northern hemisphere, you tell me, my friend, what will happen to southern hemisphere? Southern hemisphere is just a mirror reflection of it. Not even a mirror reflection, I should say. It is the opposite of it. Correct. That's the reason, if you want me, what is that you should remember for the examination? You have to remember only June 21st, that to northern hemisphere. Right? I repeat again, if I just ask me, where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? Tropic of Cancer. As you move north, length of the day increases. But as you move south in southern hemisphere, length of the day decreases. Am I right? See here. Tropic of Capricorn, it is 10.5 hours a day, 13.5 hours of night. Whenever night is more than the day, it is winter. My dear friends, here, Arctic region, 24 hours of daylight. What about Antarctic region? Just 0 hours. When sun refused to go below the horizon in Arctic region, sun refused to come out of horizon in Antarctic region. In Antarctic region, entire day the sun will not rise. Sun will not rise, my friend. 24 hours of night you experience. Sun do not rise in Antarctic region on this day, right? So that's the reason I told you, right? Only one you remember. Hardly 5-6 facts you remember, that's it. Okay. Now, my dear friends, I'll make you to write now. Now you simply write it as June 21st. Only this I want you to take it. Take it as summer solstice. Right? Within bracket, you write it as June 21st. Okay. You take it as summer solstice. You write it as June 21st. You kindly write it. Point number 1. It means I'm just simply talking about on this day. That's it. Right? Point number 1. It is the maximum tilt of northern hemisphere. It is the maximum tilt of northern hemisphere towards the sun. It is the maximum tilt of northern hemisphere towards the sun. Second point. Sun's vertical rays falls on or falls at Tropic of Cancer. Sun's vertical rays falls at Tropic of Cancer. The length of day increases towards north. Third means the next point you can write it. The length of day increases towards north. Length of day increases towards north. That is from 12 hours at equator to 13.5 hours at Tropic of Cancer, to 24 hours beyond Arctic Circle. 24 hours beyond Arctic Circle. The next point you can write it. On this day, entire Arctic region experience 24 hours of daylight. Experience 24 hours of daylight. The same paragraph you can write it. The presence of sun in the sky even during the night. The presence of sun in the sky even during the night is popularly referred as midnight sun. Is popularly referred as midnight sun. Within bracket you can write it Norway, land of midnight sun. Within bracket kindly write it Norway hyphen land of midnight sun. And the last point, my friend, the most important point, the last point, you can say June 21st. June 21st is the longest day of northern hemisphere. June 21st is the longest day of northern hemisphere. My dear friends, whatever the points you have noted down here, right? These are very important points, my friend, right? Very important points. On June 21st, where exactly the sun's vertical rays falls? What will happen as you move north of equator? Right. Why exactly? Say, for example, Arctic region, entire Arctic region experience 24 hours of daylight. You call them as of midnight sun. Am I right? And so, generally, I said, right, this is the longest day, right, of northern hemisphere. So, could you repeat the first point? What is the first point? Even I don't remember. Okay. Right. The first point, if I'm not wrong, I said, okay. Okay, it is the day where a maximum tilt of northern hemisphere, right? Northern hemisphere is tilted maximum towards sun. That is what I would have said, right? It is the maximum tilt of northern hemisphere towards the sun. The first point. It is the maximum tilt of northern hemisphere towards the sun. My friend, somewhere you kindly remember it, right? Revise it. If you understand these facts, if you can remember these facts, June 21st, southern hemisphere, you can answer. December 22nd, generally you can answer. December 22nd is exactly opposite to it, my friend. I'll show you. See, for example, June 21st, as you move north, the length of the day increases. On December 22nd, what happens? As you move north, the length of the day decreases. June 21st, what you have is what? 24 hours of daylight, right? December 22nd, what you have is just 0 hours of daylight. Am I right? That's the reason, my friend. Geography is always a subject of compensation. Right? Never become happy once you have a surplus at some point of time, because some other season you're going to experience what? Deficit. Right, my friend. So every fact we have taken it. Very important facts we have taken. Right. So both the solstice position we have taken it. And my dear friends, in between this solstice position, we have two intermediate position called as equinox. This equinox, one equinox happens in the month of March 21st. Another equinox happens in the month of September 23rd, my friends. You have to give a name for this March and September equinox, right? Now comes the question. March. If June is summer, what is the name you can give it for March, my friend? In seasons. If June is summer, December is winter. December 22nd, we call them as what? Winter solstice, right? If that is the case, what is that name you can give it? Exactly between winter and summer, you have one of the beautiful season, right? Right. This March 21st, we call them as what? Spring, right? You call them as what? Spring equinox. Very important. You call this March 21st as what? Spring equinox. Or sometimes it is also referred as vernal equinox. You call them as what? Spring equinox, or you call them as what? Vernal equinox. If March 21st, you call them as what? Spring equinox. What about September 23rd? What is the name you can give it for September 23rd? Very good. Autumn equinox, right? Nisita, okay. Nistita, okay. Sunita, Prashant, very good. It is called as autumn equinox. Fantastic, my friend, right? So we are going to talk about equinox. The word equinox itself means equal length of day and night, my friend. Itself means what? Equal length of day and night. Okay. When I say equal length of day and night means what? Entire earth on this day will experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night, including the poles, right? Including the poles, my friend. See, we know what is the circle of illumination, right? Why? This is the day when sunrise will take place at poles. Am I right? Circle of illumination is the one where along which the sunrise and sunset will take place. Okay, right. So entire earth will experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night, my friend. On this day, the sun's vertical rays will exactly fall over equator. It will exactly fall over equator, right? So my dear friends, the next topic you can take it as equinox. Some of the very important facts. Kindly write it as equinox, right? So you can write it equinox. Equinox literally means equinox literally means equal length of day and night. Equinox literally means equal length of day and night. Equinox occurs twice a year. Equinox occurs twice a year. That is on March 21st, which is called as spring equinox. Within bracket, you can call them as what? Spring or vernal equinox. And September 23rd, what is called as autumn equinox. Right? We repeat it. It occurs twice a year. That is on March 21st, within bracket spring or vernal equinox. And September 23rd, it is called as autumn equinox. Okay. The next point, my friend, very important. On this day, sun's vertical rays exactly falls over equator. On this day, sun's vertical rays exactly falls over equator. Exactly falls over equator. Entire Earth, including poles, entire Earth, including poles, will experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Entire Earth, including poles, experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night on this day. Am I right? That's all about equinox, my friend. Now what do? You carefully look at this diagram. And I've made a statement, right? Entire Earth, including poles, it is going to experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. It means what? This is the day when sunrise or sunset is going to take place at poles, my dear friends. Right? You cannot see the circle of illumination, but I'm marking the circle of illumination, my friend. Right? What I have just marked it, drawn it here, right? This is what the circle of illumination, right? The circle of illumination on this day cuts across the poles, my friend. Right? In the last sentence I said, the entire Earth, including poles, experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. It means what? The sunrise and sunset is going to take place on pole on this day, my friend. See, normally you know the sentence, you would have heard about it, right? When I talk about North Pole, my friend. How many days continuously sun will be there in the sky? It means what? If sun is rising in North Pole, right, the sun will be there in the sky for continuous how many days, my friend? You would have heard about this statement, am I right? Very popular fact. North Pole, how many continuous months of sunlight you will be having? It will be 6 months, right? Once the sun rises in North Pole, the sun will not set for another 6 months. A slight confusion you will be having. And what about this land of midnight sun? What about Arctic region? You said 24 hours, my dear friend. Arctic region is an area, larger area. North Pole is a point. Am I right? Generally, what happens? North Pole experience 6 months of continuous sun. Slightly you move away from, say for example, North Pole, you will be experiencing 5 months of continuous sun, then 4 months, right? Then 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, am I right? Few weeks, something like that. And finally, when I talk about the outer margin of this Arctic Circle, 1 day. Am I right? My dear friends, when sun rises in North Pole, the sun will be there in the sky in North Pole for 6 months. Right. Now, I have a simple question. Take the help of this diagram. You have to tell me which day the sun will rise at North Pole. Take the help of this diagram and tell me, my friend. Which day the sun will rise at North Pole? See, I accept it as equinox, but equinox itself I have 2 days. Fantastic, my friend. You got the answer. That is March 21st. Somewhere you can write this statement also. Right? You can write this statement. What is the statement? Right. Sunrise at North Pole. Sunrise at North Pole happens on March 21st. Only one sentence. That's it. Sunrise at North Pole happens on March 21st. Right, my friend. Right, almost all important facts regarding this season cycle we have taken it. Okay, what is a season? Right, variation in the length of the day in different parts of the year, you call them as what? Season. Temporal variation in length of the day, changing length of the day, you call them as what? Season. What is the reason for season? Revolution of the earth along with the tilted axis. There are 4 seasons and we have seen peak days of each season. Right? Peak day of summer, we have taken it as what? Summer solstice. Peak day of winter. If June 21st is the longest day, December 22nd is going to be your shortest day, my friend. Am I right? So this is what I have an idea. Now what is very interesting here? Now my dear friends, right at equator, my friend. Assume that you are there at equator. Sir, sunrise at South Pole happens at September 23rd. Yes, perfect. Rakesh, yes. Now, my dear friends, here the question is, okay, everything is fine. Now, I have the special case of equator, my friend. Special case of equator. What is the special case of equator? See, on the day of June 21st, what is the length of day at equator? 12 hours. Correct? 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. On December 22nd, again, what is the length of day at equator? 12 hours. 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. On equinox, entire earth is 12 hours. So equator is also 12 hours. It means what? Any given day, the length of day at equator is how many hours? 12 hours, my friend. Right? All 365 days of ordinary year, the length of daylight in equator will be 12 hours and night will be 12 hours. Correct? Sun will rise at 6 a.m. and the sun will set at 6 p.m. Am I right? It means, my dear friends, can I say equator experience equinox every day? What is summer? Longer days. What is winter? Shorter days. If that is the case, you tell me what will be the variations in the season in equator or at equator. Or let me put it this way, will equator experience season cycle? That is the biggest question. Will equator experience season cycle? No is the answer. Kindly write one sentence, my friend. The only region in the world, which do not experience season cycle, the only region in the world which do not experience season cycle is equator. I repeat, the only region in the world which do not experience season cycle is equator. Why? Because every day The length of day and night is equal in equator, my friend. That's the reason. But what is the temperature there? It is warmer. That's the reason I said summer is not about warmer. Summer is all about longer. I repeat the statement what I said. I simply said equator or equatorial region is the only region in the world which do not experience season cycle. Okay. All other parts, my friend, experience season cycle. That's the reason. Places which is close to equator, the variation is not so great. For example, when you go to Kanyakumari, means places like Kanyakumari, when you go to places like Nicobar Islands, right, you may not feel the winters. Right? If you go to Singapore, my friend, all 365 days will be more or less similar. The variation in the length of the day and night is not so great between different parts of the year. Right? Why? Equatorial region. Okay. Right. Right, my friends. Almost all very important facts regarding right the season cycle we have taken. So what we'll do, we'll try to solve one question which is asked in UPSC. Okay, 2019, it means right 1 year before, right, 2019 we had this one question which is asked from this area. We just try to see whether we are able to answer this question or not. Okay, 2019 preliminary examination. Right. Question is very simple. Right, my dear friends, just give it a try. Right, give it a try. This is the question. Okay, this is the question. Just give it a try. On June 21st, this question was asked in UPSC Civil Service Examination 2019, just 1 year ago. Right. Right. Now, my dear friends, you have to simply read the question and just simply tell me what is the answer. On June 21st, the sun A does not set below the horizon at Arctic Circle, does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle, shines vertically overhead at noon on equator, shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. Take your own time. Right? We have seen it. Right? And just tell me what exactly is the answer. On June 21st, the sun just think. Just think. See, what is June 21st? June 21st, right, is nothing but what? Summer solstice. Right? Summer solstice. Just think and answer, my friend. Such a easy question. My dear friends, answer is A. Sun does not set below the horizon at Arctic Circle. It means what? Sun will not set in Arctic Circle. This is what we were calling it as what? Midnight sun. Right? This is what we were calling it as what? Midnight sun, my friend. Okay. Answer is so simple, right? Sun will not set in Arctic Circle. You're there in Arctic Circle, it will not go below the horizon. Sun will be there in the sky. 24 hours, land of midnight sun. Okay, answer is A. Okay. Now, assuming that you got the answer, my friend. Now, forget about this question. Forget about this question. We got the answer called as A. Now, the second task. I am just selecting the second statement called as B. Sun does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle. You have to tell me on which day the so-called phenomena B happens. Very good. Fantastic. That is December 22nd, right? Winter solstice. Very good. Good. Very good. Winter solstice. Good, my dear friends. Now, similar fashion. Now, you tell me, my friend, what about statement C? Sun shines vertically overhead at noon on the equator. Which position it is talking about? Very good. It talks about equinox. Fantastic. It talks about equinox. Very good. Okay. Very good. Equinox. It can be March 21st or it can be September 23rd. Both. Very good. Now the final statement, my friend. Read the final statement. Sun shines vertically overhead at Tropic of Capricorn. Which day? Very good. December 22nd, winter solstice. Okay, right. So it means you'll be in a position to handle the questions in the examination. This is the real question that is asked in examination, right? 2019 examination question, right? Preliminary examination question. Okay. And one more thing, I was talking about summer solstice and winter solstice. But if examiner gives you a statement like summer solstice of southern hemisphere, then you think, right? If examiner is telling you it is summer solstice of southern hemisphere, then which day is referring to, my friend? I repeat my sentence. If examiner says summer solstice of southern hemisphere, yes, that is December 22nd. So if examiner simply says summer solstice, it is with northern hemisphere, June 21st. But if he says specifically a hemisphere, then think. Okay, that is the clue. Right, my dear friends. So there ends the discussion today. I mean, season cycle is a very important chapter, right? Even for mains examination. I mean, mains examination for the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission. And when I talk about any competitive examination for preliminary examination, this chapter is ultimately important. Okay, right. Now what we'll do, right? We'll have, right, some of the questions. We'll try to answer some of the questions. So can we say at equator? Yeah, that was the question. Can we say at equator every day is equinox? Perfect. Niranjan, if you ask me why equator do not experience season cycle, the reason itself we say because equator experience equinox every day, right? That is perfect, right? Santosh, right? So what is the reason of high temperature in Canada nowadays? Right? Certainly speaking, Canada is not experiencing high temperature, right? Canada is experiencing higher temperature when it's compared to the previous record. Global warming, my friend. Not only Canada, entire Earth is experiencing this global warming, number one. Number two, a few years ago, right, you would have heard about this Amazon rainforest fire, right? This Amazon rainforest fire has depleted larger glaciers of Canada and Greenland. So somewhere the insolation reflection, or what very popularly in geography we call them as what, albedo. Albedo factor was reduced recently in Canada and Greenland. That is the added reason for higher temperature in this region. Okay. So what you explained until now, is it mainly for prelims? It is both for prelims and mains. Both for prelims and mains. That's the reason I told you, right? For general competitive examination, it is for prelims. For regional, right? Say for example, PCS, it is also for mains examination. Sir, can you explain about option A, Rakesh? Rakesh, see, What is the question? On June 21st, the sun does not set below the horizon at Arctic Circle. If you remember, right? See this image, my friend. Rakesh, see this image, right? On June 21st, entire sun, when I talk about sun is there where? Right? Sun is there in Arctic region. Entire Arctic region experience 24 hours of daylight. It means sun will not set in Arctic region. That is what the question is asking. Correct? So read the question now. It says, sun does not set below the horizon. Horizon means what? The line along which the sunrise or sunset taking place at the Arctic Circle. Okay. Shahid Afridi, every day at equator is equinox. Yes, very good. Akshay Kumar, so please explain option A. That's what I have explained it, right? Right. So in equinox, how they get rain means, my dear friends, sir, in equinox, how they get rain? Why don't they get rain? They will get rain. Equatorial region, you know, equator, equatorial region in general, you know one thing, almost every day it precipitates. They call them as a convectional precipitation. See, you go to Singapore, places like Singapore, morning you will be finding that it means almost the people who mean, say for example, the ladies and gentlemen who go to their work, right? They'll be carrying umbrella with them. It will be very hot sun outside. It will be very bright, right? Once you go, you will not understand the culture. Why are they going with umbrella? Because almost every day in the evening it will be precipitating, my friend. Rainfall will be there. Very popularly, it is called as what? 4 o'clock showers. 4 o'clock showers. Okay. So just to tell you that it means precipitation is a different aspect. Yes, of course, it has a correlation. Right. We'll connect it at the later topics like climatology. Okay. Sir, can you please explain about option C? See, sun shines vertically overhead at noon on equator. Simple, right? Which day sun's vertical rays will fall at Capricorn? December 22nd. That's it. Am I right? As simple as this. Okay. Right. Devendra Rao. Any mains question example? Okay. UPSC, they may not ask you main question here, but other regional examination, right? Right. They may ask you main question here, right? I'll tell you one question. Say for example, actually I can give you two questions, right? Number one, if you ask me, okay, give me one practice question, I can say distance between sun and earth do not determine season cycle, right? Explain. This is one, right? And generally they can ask you, what do you mean by season? How are they caused, right? And bring out the significance, if not significance, the character of the important days of a season, right? This can be the other way of asking a question. My dear friends, I'll ask you one more question, okay? I'll not even tell you the answer, but you just kindly take this question and try to find an answer for it. I'll give you the question now. I'll give you the question. Why Australian summers are intense? Okay, I'll write the question. You try to identify what exactly is the answer. If you want to practice also, you can practice as though this is a mains question, my friend, right? I'll write it here. Why Australian summers are intense and are more prone to bushfires, right? Bushfire means what? Forest fire. Why Australian summer are intense or more and are more prone to bushfires? Try to find the answer and write it in 150 words, my friend, and you go for self-evaluation. Tomorrow I'll tell you what is the answer for this question. So due to huge dam construction by by China, there is a report of that Earth rotation slowed down by millisecond. Whether it is due to river water movement that is acting opposite to the Earth rotation, sorry, could you please explain it? See, this is what I told you in the course of the lecture, right? China has constructed something called as a three gorge dam. See, normally what happens if one side of the Earth all of a sudden becomes too heavy, am I right? The rotation of the Earth will get affected. Chinese construction has done something in that fashion. Am I right? Accordingly, it has slowed down the rotation of the Earth. But see, nature has a phenomena or a mechanism where it will go for self-correction. Geographically, that concept we call them as what? Isostasy or isostatic reorientation we call them as. But that will take thousands of years to, right? Say, for example, go for this compensation. Sir, for the same related question, can you give tips to answer easily in the examination? Which question, my dear? Sir, this all details available in NCERT or other source? No, not available. That's the reason I have just given you that supplementary notes. Sir, explain horizon, please. You go to your terrace, not now. Maybe evening, right? You just look for a sunset. At one point of time, the sun will go below one line, right? That line, we call them as what? Horizon. Okay. Right. See, for example, land, the outer curvature of the land, right? What you're seeing here, my friend. Right, this outer curvature of the land. This is what you call them as what? Horizon. This line, my dear friend. You call them as what? Horizon. Okay. Sir, can you explain summer solstice picture again? Anusha. Okay, I'll just come to it at a later stage. Okay. Sir, what are tides? How are they affected by the position of moon and sun? Right? See, tides we'll be seeing in this chapter called as oceanography, but still if you insist, right? The rise and fall of sea water on a regular basis, you call them as what? Tide. Entire sea level will rise, entire sea level will fall. Why it is rising? Because of the gravitational attraction induced by moon and sun. Okay. That's the reason you call it as mean sea level, my friend. Right. Please explain horizon. Yes, I have explained it. Perihelion. Suraj. See, perihelion, the nearest position of Earth with respect to sun, very close. Earth will be very close to sun. That is what you call them as what? Perihelion. Sir, second question repeated. Rakesh, which second question you are talking about? At least give me the starting word. Repeat the second question. Sir, what is daylight saving? See, daylight saving we are not interested in, but I'll give you an idea. Right, later stages I'll just give you an idea. What is this daylight saving time? Right, sometimes also called as summer time. Generally, the countries in the higher latitudes will be having a separate time for winter and summer. That is what you call them as what? Daylight saving time. Right, we'll try. If possible, we'll just discuss about it. Horizon definition, can you repeat it once again? I think I have repeated, right? The line along which the sunrise or sunset takes place. You call them as what? Horizon. Okay, sir, about seasons, Rakesh. I said, okay, even I don't remember that season exactly. I simply said, what do you mean by season? How are they caused? And bring about the significant facts. Bring about the significant facts regarding the important days of a season. Regarding the important days of a season. Kavya, then can we say horizon is tangential to our eyes? You can say almost it is a tangent, right? See, what is a tangent? Any line which cuts across a circle, right, only at one point, we call them as what? Tangent. Okay, you can very well say, with respect to the surface of the earth, horizon is a tangent. Perfect. It's a tangent. You can say, Kavya. Please share today's notes. Yes, we'll be sharing it. What do you mean by seasons? Simple understanding of season is what? Variation in the length of the day and night is season. Okay. So is this information enough for entire KPSC Lakshmikant? I feel it is should be sufficient. See, I feel that what we are seeing is actually more information. Right. We are walking that extra mile. Am I right? So display picture of summer solstice. Yeah. Right. Anusha. Okay. Poco X3 Pro. Okay, I do not know what is your name. Okay. Due to heating of surface due to surrounded by ocean, is it the reason for bushfire? No, that is not the reason. I'll give you the clue, my friend. You just give it a try, right? If I just give you the clue at this moment, you may not say, for example, your right. The purpose of answer writing may get defeated. Okay, give it a try. Just think about yourself. Search it in Google. This is just an assignment. Am I right? Why Australian summers are intense and more prone to bushfires or forest fires? Give it a try. You know the answer. Due to occurrence of summer on December along with winter solstice, right? Together, Australia faces intense summer. One slight essence is missing, right? Right, slight essence is missing, right? One or two facts you added, your answer becomes complete. Yashas. Yashas, you were also there in the earlier batch, if I remember. Okay, whatever it is, right? Can you explain the time changing on Canada? Why, sir? Please explain. What is it? Can you explain the time changing on Canada? Can you kindly repeat your question? Slightly reframe your question, my friend, possibly. Yashas, you can repost your question. Okay. Okay. In Australia, more heat is because of global greenhouse gas emission. No, that's not the answer. Due to southern hemisphere. No, that is not the answer, sir. Repeat the question that you told about bushfires. I have written it also, right? Why Australian summers are intense and are more prone to bushfires? That is the question. Just think, my friend. Sir, is it because Australia lies in southern hemisphere and sun's rays falls vertically over Tropic of Capricorn? That is okay. But when I talk about countries like India, we also have Tropic of Cancer and sun's rays falls vertically over Tropic of Cancer. Am I right? But why still Australian summers are so harsh? Evergreen forests are found in equatorial region. What is the main reason for it? That we'll see later, Sagar. Don't worry. Right, entire geography, that's what I said, right? Need 60 hours, right? 3 hours we cannot complete it. Okay, yeah, Shaz. Okay. Why in the Canada the government is changing the time on summer and winter, sir? Not only in Canada, sir. There are more than 65 countries in the world which is practicing this, right? Or having this practice. Right, higher latitudinal country. USA is doing it, Canada is doing it. Almost majority of the European nations are doing it. Am I right? Australia is doing it. New Zealand is doing it. Am I right? So this we'll discuss. That's what this concept we call them as what? Daylight saving time, or sometimes we call them as what? Summer timing. Okay, we'll discuss later somewhere. Okay, Vidya, is it near to the equator? That's the reason? No. Surrounded by sea? No. Due to perihelion? Yes. Praveen Kumar, that's the answer. Why Australian summers are too intense? Because, right, very good. One of your friend got the answer, my dear friends. When you talk about Australian summers happens in the month of December and January. Right, this December and January, two phenomena coexist. That is, one, right, summer solstice of southern hemisphere, right, of southern hemisphere coexist with this condition called as perihelion. My dear friends, one, already it is peak summers of southern hemisphere. Sun's vertical rays is over Capricorn and Capricorn is over Australia. Correct? Along with this, to add salt to the existing wound, it is perihelion position. Sun is very close to Earth. Right? The distance between Sun and Earth may not determine season, but it will affect the temperature. When Sun is very close to Earth, my friend, the temperature or the heat received by the Sun, by the Earth, technically we call them as what? Insolation. This insolation will be more. That is the reason why Australia is known for forest fires every year. Very harsh climate. That's the reason Australian cities are located only in the coastal areas. All the cities you take it, Brisbane, Sydney, Canberra, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Darwin, all these cities, my friend. Am I right? They are located in the coastal area. Why? Water maintains temperature. As you go away from the coastal areas, the summers will be too harsh, winters will be too strong. That's the reason. Correct? Very good. Right. I have given you a hint also. I have given you the clue also. I have just given you the crux of the answer. You can still try it. Right. More areas covered by desert and hot. Okay. Russia has 8 different standard time, Rakesh. No, Russia has 11 different standard times. Because Australia, summers are during perihelion day, sun is closer. Yes, Suraj, very good. You also got the answer. Adding due to facing Tropic of Capricorn with summer season at December together, add perihelion, your answer becomes complete. Elliptical orbit or tilted Earth, which one factor affects more season on the Earth? Of course, tilted axis. Elliptical orbit has no relation for seasons. It is tilted axis along with revolution. Even if it is going to be circular in orbit, yes, we would have had this season cycle. Right, my dear friends, there ends all your questions. All your questions. So thank you and God bless. Tomorrow the same time we'll meet. Right? See, initially your motivation will be very high. Sustain your motivation and kindly continue your motivation. Okay? It is not that today you are motivated, tomorrow you are not. That will not work here. Perseverance is the key of your preparation. Right? Do not avoid talking to the negative minds, my friend. Right? If somebody says no, you cannot right do it, avoid them. Right? See, only thing is that whether you can do it or not, who can take the decision? It is you. Right? So you believe that you can do it. Am I right? UPSC never betrayed a person who is hard worker. Right? Hard workers always have their place in UPSC or any competitive examination, my friend. Right? But you have to work hard. You have to be your own good judge. Okay. My dear friends, few more questions are left. Now I got it. Yeah. Temperature of countries depend on, and one more thing, the class is over, right? Only thing is that I'm just answering some of the doubts. No new facts I'll be bringing in, right? So if you wish like continuing, you can continue. Okay, right. So Sanjay Kumar, you have asked a question. Temperature of the country depends on a lot of different things, not just latitude, elevation, proximity to the ocean, currents, winds, right? Which coastline place, etc. Yes, of course, accepted. And now about temperature. Right. What all, if you ask me, it is latitude, it is altitude, it is continentality, distance from the sea, right? It is the local factors, right? It is the ocean currents, it is the cloud cover, it is the aerosol presence, it is the volcanic presence, plenty of factors as you said, right? But which is the major one? Major one starts with latitude and altitude, my friend. Okay, all other are additional factors. Always you have crux of the cake and icing on the cake, right? We are discussing about crux of the cake. Okay. Why do we call 6 months of day night, and yet on June 21st entire Arctic region is called as 24 hours of daylight? What you should understand here, North Pole is also a part of Arctic region, but North Pole alone is not Arctic region. This is point number 1. Point number 2, when I say 24 hours of daylight, I am talking about entire Arctic region. What is common in entire Arctic region? This entire 24 hours sun will be there in the sky everywhere. That is common, right? I'm not separately talking about the North Pole. If you're separately talking about North Pole, then you can say yes, 6 months. But of course, I understand that 24 hours also sun is there in the sky, right? I'm going for a commonality. Okay. Is there a monsoon effect on Australia, on Australian intense heat? See, El Nino can be a reason, right? El Nino and La Nina can be a reason, not the monsoon. Okay. Why only Australia and why not other countries located on the same latitude and longitude? Argentina and Chile are very narrow countries and water has a dominant effect on it, so it is not so intense. Australia is a broader country. That's the reason oceanic influence on Australia is comparatively less. That's the reason, right? Summer has its own intensity in Australia. Okay. Right, my dear friends, there ends the question and discussion today. I'm happy about the kind of interaction you make it, right? Only thing is that I wish that you sustain the same level of motivation, right? So thank you once again and God bless.